Welcome to come see. Welcome to come see. You can help Daddy do it. Come see. Help Daddy do it. Come see. Okay. Ready? Okay, here we go. You do it. Drew, do it.
Welcome to a Sunday edition. On morning, I said goodbye, but the Bible will be cleaning algorithm.com. To find over someone you know, algorithm.com.
Yay! Good job. Now, I have another question for you. Who did we watch play football yesterday? Who played football yesterday? What did we say? It was LSU. Tigers. Now today's the Saints. So what do we say when the Saints are playing?
Who that?
Who dat? That's what we say when the Saints are playing. Good job.
That's right.
All right. Fast. All right, everybody. Drew got up this morning. Okay. You want to stay with Daddy?
Yes.
Okay, sit with Daddy. You can sit with Daddy. Okay, you can sit with Daddy. Come see. Okay. All right. Let me sit with Daddy. All right, everybody. So LSU wins 38-0.
That's right.
Fast. LSU beats New Mexico 38-0. Great defensive performance. Tigers allowed just 88 yards of total offense.
That's
2
right.
first downs.
That's right.
They fast. They pitched the shutout, and offensively,
That's
LSU
right.
puts over
That's right.
puts up over 600 yards of offense for the Tigers. They hit the skids a little there in the first half offensively. As far as finishing drives, it was a bad sequence where 2 touchdowns came off the board.
That's right.
Fast. The Jack Besh punt return for a touchdown. The Cole Taylor reception where they called pick play on Malik Neighbors. Drew, no. Drew, no.
It's locked.
Thank you.
It's locked.
It's locked. So tomorrow is Monday. Oh, sorry, extreme close up. Sorry.
On Monday.
On Monday, we'll go to the New St. Lillian,
And then
and then Mimi will pick you up and take you to
Mimi's house.
Mimi's house. Good job.
And then
And then to
Drew's house.
Drew's house. Good job.
And then
And then
20.
20 Mondays, we'll go see.
Oh, 17.
In 17 Mondays, we'll go see
And what?
Ann Broman. Good job.
Yeah,
Good.
I know.
Do your echo. Sorry. All right, we'll get started here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, nice win for the Tigers as LSU beats New Mexico 38-0. Defense was dominant, as we mentioned. 88 yards total offense, no points, 2 first downs. Fast. Offense, over 600 yards of offense in the game for LSU. We got to see both Daniels and Nussmeier mentioned on Whiskey and Wine. It sounds like for Jaden Daniels, it's a tailbone, kind of like lower back tailbone issue, kind of tackled hard. So 24 of 29 for Daniels for 279. Completed 76% of his passes. Noah Kane was your leading rusher, in large part because of the 49-yard touchdown run he had late, but 2 touchdown night for Noah Kane. Armani Goodwin's injury seems a little more serious. I heard that was like a hamstring, knee, fast. So we're going to have to see on Armani Goodwin. It may mean next week when you go to Auburn, stepped up opportunities for John Emery and Noah Kane and Josh Williams as well. So they spread the ball around with no Keyshawn Booty out there. They spread the ball around anyway, but really a pretty obvious effort to get Jack Besh involved. He Besh returned punts, did obviously have the punt return for a touchdown, and that got negated. They threw him the ball in the second play of the game. Besh finished with 6 catches for 43 yards on 7 targets. Fast. Malik Neighbors also had 6 catches for 65 yards. Chris Hilton had the 1 reception, but it was the deep ball, the 51-yarder on the first play of LSU's second possession. That was the drive where LSU would stall out and kick a field goal. Fast. But mostly, I think you love what your defense did. Fast. And your defense just continues to improve to the point where even with Drew, Drew. No B.J. Ojolari, no Jay Ward, 7 Banks got a start, got his first LSU action. So Harold Perkins started as well. LSU had a lot of traditional 4-3 looks last night where they had 3 linebackers on the field. So you saw a lot of Mike Jones in the middle with Perkins and Penn on the field to defend against that sort of weird sort of option that New Mexico ran. So anyway, so let me know what y'all got. Y'all got questions, comments from last night. All in all, a really good performance. The penalties. The good news is you didn't have any procedure penalties, which is something we talked about. Fast. What else? They went tempo a couple of times in the ball game where they would start a drive, they'd get a first down, and then go tempo, which I like to see. Bradford was back in at right guard, which I think you probably got your starting 5 locked down now. We got to see Nussmeier, who it was really good to see him get out there and be efficient, be effective, protect the football. Nuss went 9 of 10 for 135. Of course, he had the 57-yarder to Brian Thomas, which was a screen pass that Brian Thomas did the rest. But huge, just great by Brian Thomas. I mean, he's so impressive. Every time he touches the ball, it feels like something good happens. But Nuss came in, threw a 5-yarder to Besh. They blew a timeout, then a 17-yarder to Malik Neighbors. And then Kane ran it in. Let's see. 16-yarder to Lacey. I'm looking at his passing plays. Then the 49-yard Kane touchdown run. They went 3 and out. Went deep to Neighbors on first down. That was his incompletion. That was Nuss's only incompletion. Was the deep ball to Neighbors over the middle. 9 yards to Lacey, and then the 57-yarder Brian Thomas. So yeah, I mean, nothing super that stands out electric or anything like that. But the most important thing is protected the football, which was good. So okay, say some good mornings here. See what y'all got. Thanks so much for being here. If you're on YouTube, please like the Matt Moscota page. Subscribe to the page, smash that like button on the post. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Kirk Taylor, David Coslin, Brian Penton, Craig Duke, the Texas 8-4 Maggies. They won, man. Earl Lytle, good morning. The Arkin Frauds. TK Brown, Earl Lytle, Matt, I'm nervous today. I am too, man. I don't like this matchup. I think Carolina's offense stinks and the Saints defense is plenty good enough to hold them down. I'm really worried about the Saints offense. Candidly, I just am worried about the Saints offense in this game. Fast. I mean, if you got a quarterback that's injured, Kamara, who knows how viable he'll be. I guess we'll wait and see. But Drew. Yeah, I'm nervous about this one. It's one you got to get because you're going to London. If they play this game, then they go straight to London. They'll be there to take on Minnesota, and then you turn around and you got to fly home, and then you don't have the bye, so you turn around, you fly home, and you take on Seattle. So downstairs. Sam and Merrifield, Matt, who'd you take first? McCaffrey, Kamara, similar styles, but totally different. I would take Kamara. I'm completely biased. I also think McCaffrey's injury situation in the last 2 years has probably impeded my thoughts on them. They are very similar players and similar styles to what they do for their teams, but both kind of, it's fair to say, have had injury issues of late. Ryan, Amanda Guidry, Dan Ducote, good morning. Would have changed in 4 games. Too soon to go crazy. But you see a team starting to gel. That's fair. I mean, I would love to go back and listen to either, Scone T or Whiskey and Wine or more in Scone after the Florida State loss, because that was a lot of things. Like, hey, look, teams are allowed to get better. A lot of y'all are saying, oh, they won't. They'll win 3 games. Teams are allowed to improve, and Brian Kelly's a good coach, and you're seeing it. You're seeing this team improve as they go along. They're learning more about themselves. You feel like you found something with your offensive line. The defense just continues to get better and better. So, yes, there's a lot to really, really like as they continue to improve. Trey Bagby, I think we're going to blast Auburn. Their offense is atrocious. So Auburn is not a good team. They got up 14-0 on Missouri yesterday and then just went into the deep freeze, which was so weird. Shout out to Blake Baker, Missouri defensive coordinator. And Missouri completely blew their opportunity to win that game. I can understand why, they did what they did, which was essentially play for the field goal to win it. They got down inside the 5-yard line. They were going to run all the clock down and essentially kick an extra point. But there's so many variables, man. And for an Auburn team that just could not move the ball, you would have been better off trying to score the touchdown. I get it. You could fumble. There's a lot of things that could happen. But, man. And losing overtime, just brutal. Just brutal. Neither team seemed wanted to win that game. Auburn had a chance to win it on a field goal and missed 2. Let's see. Hey, bud. On. Oh, you want to watch? Okay, I'll be right back. 1 sec, guys. Fast? Okay. Fast. Okay. Where are we? Fast. Tony Blanco, Wendell Norman, Justin Clary, Caleb Cody, Franklin Zubia, Tommy Blanco, Cody Kibidu, Larry Garner. Good morning, Nicholas Cantrell. Doug knows what's going on. Trivia Carter, Hunter Broadhead, Donovan Peterson. Let's hope our offense turns up today. That's my hope, man. I think Saints defense is fine. I just want to see this offense get going. I think it's just going to be hard to do with a quarterback with a broken back. I don't know that we've seen anything that suggests it'll be different today. So I'm just going to hope. But if it goes badly today, I think you've got to go to Andy Dalton, man. That's why you signed him. Yeah, because you've been through this now. This is the 4th year in a row where you've had an injured quarterback. Here you go back to 2019 with Breeze smashing his thumb, on Aaron Donald's helmet. You've just, you've dealt with this. So last year was James with the ACL. It's why you decided, hey, let's go get a viable backup, Spurge, good morning. Brad Davis, do you think Norvell's seat is cooled down or will he still get fired this year? Yeah, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends how their season goes. I'm not paying a ton of attention to Florida State. Maybe I should because LSU opens up with it again next year, but I'm more hyper-focused on what LSU can do and be this year. Brant Roban, good morning. Hope injuries don't start piling up for LSU. Man, it's an unavoidable part of the game, right? But I think mostly LSU is maintained, has been pretty healthy, and have avoided the major injury other than Mason Smith, which was obviously significant. Ashley Megan, good morning. Dat Cajun, Kyle Milliken, after we beat Auburn next week, do you think we fare against Tennessee? Best. So I think T-Bob and I maybe talked about this yesterday at the end of Whiskey and Wine. If you figure on average 12 possessions per game, you feel like if you could get 3 stops a half against Tennessee, if they scored on 6 possessions. But if you could limit them to, on 2 of those possessions field goals, then they got 34 points or 3 touchdowns through 3 field goals. That's 27 points. I mean, I think that's your ticket. Is you've got to be able to limit them you got to be able to limit them to threes. They're going to move the ball. So you got to hold them to threes. Kyle, the game's at home. Let's see how LSU fares next week on the road at Auburn. But boy, I'd sure like it if that game was this week. Tennessee had to play a big emotional game against Florida, and now LSU kind of had a layup against New Mexico. So, are we good? YouTube, are we good still? I guess so. I'm seeing the comments still come through. What's going on here? What's going on with my internet, man? God, dog. It's my internet on my Surface. God, dog it. I'm just seeing a freaking spinning wheel. Sorry, y'all. 1 second. Facebook, let me know if you're still there, please. Nope, I guess not. Yeah, I guess my internet just buffered, so I lost Facebook because I'm on my data picked up on my phone. So my apologies, y'all. Hang on, I'm gonna fire Facebook back up. My apologies, y'all. Hang on 1 second. Trivia: YouTube is golden only because it's on my phone, so it switched over to my data. My Surface is where I originated. If I had switched them, YouTube would be off right now. It's got nothing to do with YouTube. Sorry, y'all. 1 second. Let me get Facebook back on again. Just give me 1 quick second. Sorry, just 1 quick second. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate it. All right. Getting Facebook on again. Okay. Okay. All right, this is take 2 for Facebook. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock Benjamin Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, so we were about 15 minutes into the show. My internet buffered, and we lost the Facebook feed. So apologies for that. So we're just kind of starting. We're not starting all the way over, but for all of those of you on Facebook, this will be the beginning of the show. Fast. Okay. Derek Abshire, what's going on? Trivia Carter, Matt, have you ever had a day of golf where it seems like your ball keeps finding the water? Pretty much every time I play golf. Colin Milliken, ESPN FBI has us 80% chance over Auburn, 60% chance over Tennessee. Yeah, the home game against Tennessee certainly gives LSU more of a chance. It was interesting because I looked up fast. When we were doing Scone and tea, whiskey and wine, I'm sorry. I looked up the LSU Auburn line, and it was Auburn 1.5. That was at Action Network. I'm trying to find an updated line because someone jumped in and said it was LSU 5.5. I mean, I'm looking at Action Network, and they got Auburn 1.5. Boy, that's weird. But then FanDuel's got it 6.5 LSU. That's weird. Anyway, I don't know what the line is yet. Yeah, I don't see the line yet. Anyway, okay, so Damon Hinderberger, Nicholas Cantrell, Derek Abshire, Barry Johnson. LSU keeps getting better game by game. By the end of the season, nobody's going to want to play us. Yeah, Barry. Listen, I think you still have limitations. Okay, so the nobody's going to want to play us thing. That could be one of two things. It's going to mean, well, LSU's capable or LSU's dominant. I don't think LSU's going to be dominant this year. I think they're going to be capable. It's one thing we talked about a lot, though. Barry was, all season we talked about this being a season where every game, you're going to see point spreads within 3 points of the line. Either LSU favored by field goal or field goal underdog in every game. So, I mean, it means you're going to play a lot of toss-ups. And you hope more of them go your way than not. Ashley, Megan, Drew, so adorable. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm biased, but I tend to agree. Brad David, are you and Erica happy with St. Lillian? Seems like a very good school. We're thrilled. St. Lillian Academy has been a godsend for our family. They are so wonderful with Drew and with all the kiddos. I mean, every kid that goes there has like complex needs, and they do an amazing job of giving attention to all those needs, and it never feels like it's a burden that they have to do more. That's what they do. They're amazing. Yes. Baldy B, what's going on? Who dat? DeMarcus Spencer. James has an ankle injury as well. Hey, Drew, come see. Well, Dad put in Dad's show. And after Dad's show, we will. After that show, the dressing before they start. Good job. Faster. Let's see. Spurge, Kelly's tight end influence showing promise. I'd agree. Let's see. I mean, Cole Taylor had a touchdown last night that got negated. They went heavy after Mason Taylor last night as well. You really saw his production increase. Mason Taylor had 4 for 34 with a long of 17. And you got to keep in mind also that you're talking about a game that became a blowout. But it was the fifth. Drew, stop it, buddy. It was the final touchdown drive before half. They went to Taylor on the first play. Got a first down. Went to the second down there. Fast. They went to him twice on that drive. They went to him on the first drive of the third quarter. Yeah, so they were forcing him the ball for sure. Football. You want to come sit on Dad's lap? Say hi, Dad show? Dad show. Okay, I have an idea. Hey, let's sing your song, okay? You want to sing your song? Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey. You do it.
Hey, fly, tiger, hard on my. Hey, fly, tiger, win the game today. You got to know how you're doing fine. Hard the ball now, hard the ball, come back to for the wine. Yeah, I got the for the touchdown. 1 up a score. Make Mike the Doggos and nothing more. Give it on and not to give it. Have it on. Give it.
All of you might as you fight tonight and keep the golden view. You do it.
Victory for our you. T-I-G-E-R
Yay! Good job. Good job, buddy. You did great. Good job. Mwah. Love you. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Let's see. Whoop. Wait, hang on. You don't see Drew. Where's Drew? There's Drew. Cliff Nelson, good morning. E-Rock sighting last night. Whoops. Yeah, one thing. Thank you, Cliff. One thing that Brian Kelly did say after the game last night is that looks like Major Burns is going to be out for 3 to 6 weeks. That sucks. I will say it's worth noting you do get Joe Fouché back after this game, so you get Joe Fouché back. So that's a veteran safety in the SEC. So the timing there works out. You are very deep at safety. You get Jay Ward back next week, I presume. You kind of gave him, he dressed but didn't play, so you give him the week off. So with Jay Ward back, Greg Brooks in there, Fouché is back off of his academic suspension. You got Sage Ryan. They have recruited exceptionally well at safety, and they've got good numbers there. So I would suspect they'll be just fine there. Elijah Brown, do you think LSU will be ranked going into the Tennessee game? I do not, Elijah. I think if they beat Tennessee, then they'll be ranked. They certainly look good with this win. They've won 3 in a row. None of the wins are terribly impressive, though. I don't really know how good Mississippi State is. LSU. So, for example, last week LSU got 6 votes. In others receiving votes, Michigan State was the first team out of the poll at 91 votes, and Florida State got 85. And Florida State beat you, right? So, no, a win over Auburn isn't going to do it. A win over Tennessee would absolutely do it. So, you beat Auburn, you beat Tennessee, you'll be in the poll. Where are we? Carter DeLon, excited to see Joe Fouché next week. There you go. Derek Abshire, hit the like button. Yeah, thank you so much, Derek. If you're on YouTube, 221 on YouTube, thank you so much. 76 likes. If we can get that up, that'd be great. Welcome back, Facebook. Apologies. Facebook feed cut out. We've been about 15 minutes into the show. So we're starting over here. Mark Vitanovich, good morning. Jeff McKithen, Stephen Foyle, Aaron Everett to the O-line show improvements last night. I'll tell you this, that's certainly not the thing I'm watching real time. But T-Bob did say on Whiskey and Wine that Campbell and Emory Jones dominated for the second consecutive week. So, and it certainly looked like it. I mean, I don't know. Drew, stop, baby. Drew is making a lawnmower sound. Let's see. They had 4 sacks last night. I know I charted several of them as coverage sacks, and one of them was Daniels rolling to his left, and they tackled him for a 1-yard loss, but it went down as a sack. So, I thought they did great. So, Quentin Brakebill, Ryan Amanda Guidry, Ben Giat, Denny Landry, Karen Landry, Blaine Smith, Aaron Everett, Blake Morgan, good morning. Jaden looks more comfortable every game. No doubt, man. Daniels has, let me find it real quick. All right, here you go. Jaden Daniels. Dag nabbit. Here you go. Jaden Daniels, week 1, 74%, week 2, 91%, week 3, 60%, week 4, 83%. He's got 835 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, no picks, 262 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He's definitely been fantastic. He's been fantastic. See him go do it on the road in a conference game next week. Daniel Cass, Noah Kane, really 4th string behind a backup. Matt, can you explain that? I think Armani Goodwin, I think, had pretty clearly emerged, right, with John Emery facing the suspension. So Goodwin was your number 1. Emery came back, and I think is clearly your number 2. I mean, he was the guy with the second opportunity behind Goodwin. I think they look at Josh Williams kind of as a change of pace guy and a guy that can do things like block and things like that. And so then that leaves Kane. But with Goodwin out, everybody steps up a chair this week, right? Kenny Schutt, why isn't John Emery starting or playing more? Because Armani Goodwin's your best running back. I mean, what's Goodwin done to not justify, playing more? I mean, Goodwin's been your best back. So, Patrick Cason, what's up, man? Good morning. Good to see you last night. Appreciate everybody who came out to Dan Juan Cigar Bar. Gregory Gordy, need a shot collar for T-Bob or the after show every time he goes on left field tangents. Yeah, I wouldn't mind putting a shot collar on him. I'd probably abuse the privilege though. Let's see. Murder Giraffe, good morning. Star Hill Stunners. I need one for Sherwin today. Any suggestions? My suggestion is listen to Jimmy Ott, Magnolia Bluff Football Sunday at about 11:45 Central. I hate it. Jimmy will go through his best bets and all the consensus picks from the professional handicappers. So last week, I think they were a combined 14-0. There was some overlap, like some of the guys had the same games, but they were combined 14-0, which never happens and will never happen again. But I mean, I'll be listening to that. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row. Jimmy had a perfect week. Jimmy had a perfect morning. So week 1 in the NFL, Jimmy, I think, was 6-2, and then last week his picks, and that includes I think Thursday and Monday. His picks last week on Magnolia Bluff Football Sunday went 5-0. So. And Jimmy gave you Cleveland on Thursday Night Football. So he has been on point with the NFL so far this year. Ashley Megan, Elijah, let's see, Bama and A&M play the same day as LSU Tennessee. Game day is doubtful. SEC Nation maybe. Sorry, I missed that comment. Yeah, so Texas A&M Bama is going to be the CBS night game. That should be College game day, all that sort of stuff. The big question is that Auburn, Georgia is also that day. So the big question really is 2:30 CBS. So that'll be the CBS day night doubleheader. So Bama, A&M will be the night game. The question is, so for the 2:30 game, is that LSU, Tennessee, or is that Auburn, Georgia? So Deep South's oldest rivalry, all that stuff. But if LSU beats Auburn next week, they'll have to decide, do they want the number 1 team in the country, Georgia, or do they want Tennessee again for the second time in 3 weeks? So, Matt, did you see Florida score to make it 38-27? They went for 2 to cut it to 9. I did. People mad at Napier because if they kick the extra point on both, they just need field goal at the end tight. I did see that, and I was curious why they were going for 2. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me at all, really. I was like doing the math in my head, and I'm very bad at math, candidly. I was like, I'm missing something here. There's something I'm missing. But no, I mean, it was bizarre. Scone, I'm not really missing Dwight McGlothern after watching Arkansas's pass defense versus ours. Not sure what's wrong in Arkansas, but give me our guys all day. It is fair to say also how much better would he be if he were here with this defense, this coaching staff. Like, it's weird because Barry Odom's a good coach, but man, that Arkansas pass defense is terrible. I mean, it's one of the reasons that, look, something had to give in that game. A&M's offense had been atrocious, and Arkansas's pass defense was literally dead last in the country. So something had to give. Either A&M was going to be able to move the ball on a terrible defense, or Arkansas's terrible defense was going to feast on a bad A&M offense. Well, you kind of split the difference. It ended up 23-21, and A&M did have a touchdown on a bizarre, like, 90-yard fumble return where it was like shades of Ed Reed against Boston College, ripping the ball away from his teammate. But, yeah, I mean, Arkansas was up 14-7, and they were going in for a score. They fumbled. A&M 82-yard fumble return. But, you know, Arkansas did nothing in the second half until late in the fourth quarter. So, but let's see. Let me look at that box score real quick. Max was 11-21 for 151 and a touchdown. I mean, not good, but good enough, you know. Where are we? Let's see. Stephen Dufour, good morning. We finally see some continuity from the Saints offense today. Give me something to ease my mind. Stephen, the only thing I'll tell you is that Carolina's not a very good team. But I'm not optimistic, man. I mean, I picked the Saints to win a close game 20-17. Mostly, and seriously, mostly the reason is because Carolina's offense is not good. And the Saints' defense is. So I think the Saints' strength against the Panthers' weakness is a huge edge Saints. And if they could just get something going offensively, they should win the game. But I'm not optimistic they will, man. I'm not optimistic they'll get going. Ryan Jackson, last night I noticed we have to pick up our efforts to get the running backs more touches. Rushing attack has improved since week 1. We're definitely going to need it going into the SEC. You know, Ryan, I mean, I hear you. And in a perfect world, that sounds awesome. But the reality is you're just not going to be a very good running team this year. Against teams that are physically your equal or superior. Against New Mexico, sure, you can line it up and run and you'll pop up a 49-yarder, or like last week when Goodwin popped up the 57-yarder or whatever it was. Like, yeah, I mean, but, you know, at some point you kind of are what you are. Charles Turner's not a great physical player at the point of attack. You know, I like Bradford and Emory Jones on the right side. I don't think, you know, your left side with Dellinger Campbell is going to be very effective being a left-handed running team. You know, and you don't have a real physical blocking tight end. It's just not going to be what you do. I mean, you could look and say, look, they ran 41 times for 219, average 5.3 a carry. That's true. That's all true. But, you know, your running backs in the game, you got to take away Daniels 9 for 37. Drew. You know, and then if you look at, you know, Noah Cain's 49-yarder, you know, your backs ran for just over 100 yards in the game. And you can't take away the 49-yarder, and a big part of that is you keep pounding away. Eventually, you're going to pop the big one. But, you know, against a team like New Mexico, when you have a lead and you're trying to run clock, that works. But what happens if you're playing from behind? You know, I get you in the desire to get running backs more involved, but I mean, like I told y'all going to the opener, Daniels was going to be the leading rusher, and I repeated the same thing against Florida State, and I think that's going to have to happen next week as well against Auburn. I think, you know, Jaden Daniels is going to have to be your leading rusher, and you hope he's healthy from the lower back strain or whatever he had, and is good to go. Ryan Pike, Perkins doesn't leave the field anymore. Okay. Perkins got the start last night. LSU ran a lot of traditional, like, 4-3 looks. And so you saw Mike Jones in the middle with Perkins and Penn. Perkins was great. He continues to be. He led your team with 8 tackles last night, 3 solo. I love Greg Brooks as well on this defense. Yeah, absolutely. Murder Giraffe, Tennessee scares me. They should. They can score. I mean, Tennessee's problem is they can't stop anybody, and especially because their defense is on the field so much because their offense goes fast. But Florida outgained Tennessee, out first downed Tennessee in Knoxville. Tennessee's defense just isn't very good. That was a situation yesterday where, Anthony Richardson, who hadn't thrown a touchdown pass yet, threw for 300 yards in that ballgame. That was a situation where Florida was going, it was a 10-point game, and Florida's going in to score, and Richardson fumbles at like the 10-yard line, and Tennessee gets the ball, scores, and all of a sudden it's 17, and it feels like it's out of hand. Now, Florida made their run late, but that's the problem with Tennessee is, yes, their offense can move and they can score, but if you find a way to get stops against Tennessee, that was my point earlier. I'm not saying you shut them out. You just got to find a way to get enough stops in two halves of football. Like in a given game, you typically have 12 possessions. If that's the case, can you get 6 stops? And then in 2 or 3 of those possessions, hold them to field goals instead of touchdowns. And if that's the case, you're in a game where you can win a 35-31 type game against Tennessee. And that's probably the path to win it. Jacob Picard, Nuss looked great last night. He did. He looked comfortable. He looked poised. He looked efficient. That was great to see. I mean, that's a guy that we've talked about who has he's got a really good skill set, man. He's got to refine it. And that's why I think, this year, having this sort of like transitional year to just sit and watch and learn and grow and not have the pressure of having to go win games for your team. It's going to be great for Nussmeier. I mean, I'll keep going back to this example, but it's like if Nuss had a play this year, that would be like Jarrett Lee in 08. Lee had a great arm and was a team guy and a smart guy and son of a coach and all that stuff. He just had to play too early in his career, and the early struggles, affected him throughout his career. So I think Daniels came at the exact right time because it's given Nussmeier and Howard the opportunity to kind of just like sit and watch and learn and grow and develop. And I mean, that it's hard to like under or overvalue that. I mean, it matters. Daniel Cass late to the party with status on Goodwin. Hamstring, knee is what I was told. So I don't know how in the world he plays this week. I just hope it's not one of those things that keeps him out for the whole year. But we'll see. I don't know. Let's see. Danny Landry, Daniels efficiency 78%, one of the best in the country. Will definitely help down the road. Y'all, I mean, right now through 4 games, Jaden Daniels has turned the ball over 1 time. It was the mesh last week with Josh Williams. I mean, it's incredible. Like their efficiency has been awesome. Reagan Katz, loving the direction and future of the program. Lots of promising youth contributing in big ways. Yeah. I mean, when you think, like, this is where you can get excited, okay? Think about what it's going to be like when you have Harold Perkins as a junior, when Will Campbell and Emory Jones are your junior bookend tackles that are 3-year starters, when Mason Taylor is your junior freak show tight end. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you can look and go, yeah, it's exciting. When Quincy Wiggins got and made a bunch of plays last night when he's a junior. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you could look and go, okay, like, this year, grow, develop, establish culture, win as much as you can. Next year, start to make that move, and then by 2024, you're sprinting. Glenn Thomas, glad to see Chris Hilton got in the game. Not only get in the game, Chris Hilton returned kickoffs. I mean, he only had 1 chance to open the second half, but Hilton was your kick returner, which was great to see. And on LSU's second possession, first down, they went up top to him for 51 yards. So, I mean, he's got legit track speed, man. I mean, that's a guy who I want on the field as my game breaker, and I'm excited for him, because next season, Kayshawn and Jure will be gone, and that's going to open up tremendous opportunities for guys to step up and emerge. So, let's see. Cherry, what's good? Great time at Don Juan last night after the game. Yeah, man. Appreciate you for coming out as always. Great to see you. Everyone who came out got to sample E-Rock's baked goods, the lemon cookies and the slutty brownies. Jerry Fontenot, morning. Tigers starting to gel together more each week. Absolutely. Blaine Smith, hopefully Kamara plays today. We should get a in and out designation here pretty soon, actually. Deborah Coward, good morning, Matt. Have an awesome Sunday. Same to you, Deborah. Thank you. Alex Roboleski, Ask E-Rock. If E-Rock gets up, we could do it. We did ask E-Rock yesterday. But if she gets up, we could definitely do it. Ashley Megan Perkins is going to be one of those NFL jerseys I always buy and never wear just because he's one of my favorites. A light worker, and us did good. He's learning and growing. Zachary Hardy with a decent win against Auburn. Do you think we potentially slide in the top 25? No, went over that a little bit ago. I think LSU only got 6 votes last week. So you'll have to beat Auburn and then probably beat Tennessee. You beat Tennessee, you're in. You'll be back in the poll. Be kind. Good morning, Murder Giraffe. Florida State and Kansas need to be ranked. Kansas will be interesting. Let's see. Kansas had 23 votes last week. They will certainly be close. Kansas will be close. Let's see. DeMarcus Spencer, hope this injury to Jameis won't hurt us more. Scooter rushing, I put Dalton in early if it looks like they're struggling. Greg T, I just added 1 million more game coin to my wallet for $397. Load up like it. Greg, you know what's interesting, Greg? When you're in the middle of a bull market in crypto, people always say, man, I can't wait to buy the dip. And then the bear market comes and basically everything is just, it's like a fire sale, just, and people vanish. The old adage is like, you get rich in the bear market because that's when you accumulate large bags. And then when the bull market comes, you take profit. So smart man, 1 million tokens for $397. That's crazy. Ryan Rogers, morning, Matt. Do you think Georgia and Ohio State are on a different level than everyone else? You can't exclude Alabama from that. And, you know, I'm curious to see about Southern Cal. I mean, look, they managed to win last night in Corvallis. It was a dog fight. We talked about it yesterday. Styles make fights. Same with Oklahoma, y'all. Same with Oklahoma. We talked about it yesterday and Friday. The team in the Big 12 that gave Lincoln Riley's Oklahoma the most trouble aside from Texas was K-State. And K-State went and beat Oklahoma in Norman yesterday. Styles make fights, man. Let's see. Yeah, 195 watching on, I'm sorry, 227. Wow. 227 watching there on YouTube, 104 on the likes. Thank you so much. If you're new, please smash that like button. Please subscribe up to the Matt Scone channel. As always, shout out to Brock, the Banner Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. You need an orthopedist, go to Brock. After hours clinic is open today, so if you do, just walk in. If you do need an orthopedist today, Brock can help. Of course, Hudco Roofing. Hudco is pinned in the chat. Would love the opportunity to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection. So if you've not had your roof inspected, I want to remind you, you have 2 years from the date of a storm. So we just passed 1 year from Ida. So if Ida affected your area, and you did not have a roof inspection last year, man, it is worth getting that done. It is free. You don't even have to be home. Like, we just send one of our inspectors to walk your roof, walk it, mark it, chalk it. We'll file an inspection report. If it's worth filing an insurance claim, we'll do that. We'll work with your insurance adjuster to get your claim approved, and you can get you a new roof. So, HudcoRoofing.com. It's pinned right there in the comments. Let's see. Gulf South, Brian Thomas, 57-yard touchdown was special. So nice to see a playmaker get the ball, be able to make a play. Yeah, I agree. I think the best thing you say about Brian Thomas, like every time they throw him the ball, something good happens. I mean, last week, they threw him the ball on the left flat, and he had that really nice run where the guy was like pulling his shirt kind of unraveled as the guy was pulling him. He just big, strong hands. He's a physical dude. Yeah, I mean, all of LSU's receivers have their own sort of special skill set, which the diversity of the skill set is what makes it even more impactful. Let's see. Chance Babin, amazing. LSU's fourth true freshman starting and playing great. Future looks bright. Jacob Falcon, I don't know if you've seen or been paying attention to Kansas. Wonder how much credit Les Miles gets for recruiting the guys there. Well, their quarterback is a transfer, and I don't know about the rest of their roster. How much those guys are transfers as well. Really, I mean, it's Lance Leipold. I mean, you got a coach in there who won at the lower level, and we've seen that strategy work. I mean, Jim Tressel did it at Ohio State. Chris Kleiman at Kansas State now. Leopold. So there's something to be said for that. Kurt Taylor, Gregory Gordy, Jacob Falcon, Scooter Rushing, Grown Folks. What's up, Matt Plavidal? Yo. Caleb Cody, Taz. How do you think Pete is doing as OC for the Saints? Taz, it's hard to say. Let me give you this point, okay? You can certainly look at the points scored and go, not good through 2 weeks, and that's fair. But I could look at last week and I say, man, they dialed up a couple of deep shots to Olave where Olave was open. And if Jameis hits him, you hit those deep balls and the game's different. But they didn't. So you don't put that on the OC. But ultimately, the success or lack thereof of the offense will fall back on the play caller and the quarterback. So, they'll get the credit, they'll get the blame. Also not having Kamara last week, I think, hurt. Having a quarterback with a broken back hurts. And y'all, another thing we haven't talked at all about, how much would it help to have Trevor Penning on this team? To have that sixth sort of, tackle eligible lineman, if it were that guy, how much would that guy help this team? Now with Alontae Taylor on IR, two of your top three picks are out. Taylor's done for the year, and Penning, it's indefinite when he'll return, but a bit of a bummer. Will Hildebrand, I like you, Matt, but you were stepping all over Drew's analysis earlier. My apologies, Will. All right, let's see. Greg Dugas scored a Weller 12 at a local grocery store last night. It's better than scoring a Weller 12, scoring one at suggested retail. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Green Z Matt, during your Around the SEC segment, you should get Muso to make a Texas A&M drop that says the Texas A&M Maggies. Not bad. Maybe we'll do that. Cody Kebido, no issues with YouTube. Okay, sorry. Jacob Falcon. Why not let Jameis Heel play Dalton? Look, Taz, I'm for that, man. I mean, that was my feeling last week after that game. I respect the warrior mentality from Jameis, wanting to get out there and play, but not at the detriment of the team. If you being out there injured is hurting the team, then it's not worth having you out there. And it's why you signed Andy Dalton, because you went through this 3 years in a row. In 2019, you had Bridgewater. In 2020, you played Jameis and Taysom. And then last year when Jameis got hurt, you had Simeon and Taysom, and we all know what happened. But anyway, so yes, I'm with you. That's why you went and got Andy Dalton, was for this possibility, because you've seen it the last 3 years now. Greg Dugas, Drew singing happy birthday in the background while Matt's frustrated as someone entertaining. Jerry Newsom, good morning. How about the Saints? Who dat? Oliver Holmes, let's see. Oh, cool. Scooter Rushing. UNT made my son's night last night. Seth, got to meet y'all. Don Juan, thank you. Absolutely. It's funny, Scooter. He reminded me when you mentioned that you're coming in from West Monroe, and I said, yeah, no love lost here from West Monroe. So we talked last night about, he asked me about 96 Catholic West Monroe, which is the worst game. I explained to him all the context surrounding that and everything. But yeah, it was great to meet him, man. I'm glad he came out. It's always good to meet morning Sconers, man. A lot of y'all have become friends, and outside of obviously here, but you know what I mean, like outside of here. So, people always say thanks for doing this, and like you're part of my morning. Like, y'all are part of my morning every day too, and have been for more than 4 years now. So, I'm grateful too, man. Let's see. Ashley Megan, Tennessee's going to be a great game. Heupel's done a great job with the program. He has. I mean, look, Ashley. That's. Bo, do you have two first names? I would assume, or is that like a middle name? Anyway, look, they went through a wasteland of coaches after Fulmer. They had Kiffin for 1 year, then he bolted for SC. They struck out with Dooley, they struck out with Butch Jones, they struck out with Pruitt. I mean, it just shows what happens like when you make bad coaching hires at a place that doesn't have innate advantages. And Tennessee does not. Like Tennessee has history, and Tennessee has money. But what Tennessee doesn't have is a recruiting base in state. Tennessee is not a talent-rich recruiting state. So they have to recruit nationally. And, if Tennessee isn't winning and there's not a tremendous appeal to go there, but you get a coach that plays a fun style offense, they're winning games, and they've got their booster spending. You go get Nico, whatever his name is, the 5-star to California for $8 million or whatever the report is. Like, that's when Tennessee can get relevant again. Tennessee's a great example of how NIL can make a middling brand elite again. But it also took getting the right coach, and it looks like they got it with Heupel. Brantley Abear, Matt, any more news on Jaden Daniels or Major Burns? Daniels apparently is a lower back strain. Major Burns, Kelly said yesterday, was out 3 to 6 weeks. We played 2 cupcakes in Mississippi State. We need to keep the underdog energy going forward. You know what? I kind of disagree. Like I don't want LSU to be an underdog. Like I want LSU to be Georgia, to be Alabama, to be Clemson, to be the team that everybody's trying to beat because of the logo on the helmet. You know what I mean? Like I get where LSU's reality is today, but like I don't want that. Like being an underdog, I want to be the team that's favored. It means you're winning things of significance. Cortland, Kelly said both players are cleared. They didn't want to risk Jaden last night. They want to rest Burns for a few weeks. Larry Francis, Chance Babin, when LSU just gets the receivers the ball quick, great things can happen. Hope this continues. Robert Johnson, thanks for sharing your son with us. It's inspiring. God picked Drew just for you. Great dad. Thank you. Hey, you know what, Robert? I'll tell you real quick. I don't want to bore y'all with this, so I know that's not where everybody watches, but one of the reasons that I do put Drew on a lot, if you go back to Morning Scone, how this started was I was doing like a 10-minute recorded video every morning, and I would close my office doors, and he would stand out the office doors and whine and like bang on the door because he wanted to get in. So finally, after enough times, if I could stop and re-record, I said, you know what, screw it. I just let him come in, and everybody loved him. But I'll tell you, when we were in the hospital with him, and for those that don't know, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but we knew prenatally that he was going to be sick. We relocated to Houston. He was born at Texas Children's because they specialized in what he was going to need. And we were there for 9 months. He was in the NICU for 7 months. He had 5 surgeries there. He had 3 in his first 5 days. 3 surgeries his first 5 days of life. So we went through a long thing, but we were gone for so long, but we had so much support from here. But even when you're gone, like you don't realize, like life, we lived in this little cocoon in this hospital for 9 months, and life around us went on. And I can remember like when we came home, people would say, like, you don't understand, like your son belongs to Baton Rouge now. And I get it, because even to this day, like literally to this day, every single day, strangers ask me about him. Strangers will say, how's Drew? We still pray for your family all the time. Like, we walk into, like, there's the grocery store by our house where we go a lot of times. It's almost like Norm in Cheers. Like, when he walks in, just everyone's like, hi, Drew, hi, Drew. Like, I'm serious. It's bizarre. Not bizarre. It's flattering, but and humbling. But that's my point. So people would say, like, your son belongs to the city. So what am I going to do, not share him? I mean, they're right. There's a lot of people who've prayed for him and prayed for our family and who love him. So I'm not gonna hide that light under a bushel. So yeah, I mean, I'll gladly, always show off Drew. So like any proud parent, right? Dalton Barnett, Spurge, good morning. Jason Austin, lemon cookies are T-Bob's favorite. I think so. They're everybody's favorite. What's up, Facebook? Appreciate y'all for being here, man. Comments a little light there on Facebook, but y'all can keep them coming. Smash that like button. YouTube, please smash that like button if you're just jumping in. If you're new, please subscribe up to the channel as well. Dalton Barnett, I don't care what T-Bob says. You're right, Mr. Moscona. Thank you. Daniel Blunt, good morning. Chance Babbitt, I think Coach House is better than advertised. I mean, see, the thing is, Chance, he came in pretty well advertised, man. Like, if you actually think about it, he had great success at Kentucky. You know, the year he had Josh Allen, the defensive end Josh Allen, who had 21 tackles for loss, 19 sacks, whatever it was. He had great defenses there, went to the Chiefs, was part of those great defenses. I mean, Tyrann Mathieu gave him a ringing endorsement. I mean, he came in, with credentials. So, and the other thing to point out, like, isn't it worth pointing this out? Brian Kelly, look at the defensive coordinators he hired at Notre Dame, from Bob Diaco and Mike Elko and Marcus Freeman. I mean, he's had a great eye for hiring defensive coaches. He did hire Brian Van Gorder, which was a miss, but he's had more hits than misses, and this is another one, clearly. Gregory Gordon, is Turner hurt? No, he did. There was a point where he went down, looked like he got rolled up a little bit, but he stayed in the game. So I'm going to assume it's not. I mean, in that game against that team, it wouldn't have been worth it keeping him in there. So I'm going to assume he's okay. Just get some treatment this week, be ready to go. Sons of the Edelweiss. Larry Francis, if they beat Tennessee, I don't see no other team beating them. No, Larry, listen. Okay. It is worth noting, you have beaten Southern, Mississippi State, and New Mexico. Okay? Let's not act like you just went and beat Bama, Clemson, and Georgia. All right? Again, I'm not trying to throw a wet blanket on the celebration here, but there are coexisting truths. One is LSU is clearly getting better, which, by the way, if you roll back the clock, that's something that we talked about here. Like, teams are allowed to improve. They will get better. After they lost to Florida State, I pointed out, man, when LSU in 2017 got blown up by Mississippi State and lost to Troy, y'all said they weren't going to win another game. They didn't lose another game other than Bama the rest of the way. So, like, teams are allowed to improve, and this team clearly is. But let's also keep in context some other realities. You still have two true freshman tackles and an offensive line that has struggled to get a legit running game going. Your number one running back right now got hurt yesterday. We'll see how he performs. You don't have a true blocking tight end. Your defense is certainly solid and getting better. But you missed a 38-yard field goal yesterday. You continue to have major gaps in special teams every game. So this is far from a flawless team. And you still have to go to Florida, which is always a tough place to play. Ole Miss is quietly undefeated, and their offense is rolling. You have to play Bama. You have to go to Arkansas and to Texas A&M. Tough places to play, really good teams. So, again, this is going to be a season, like I've said all along, where you're going to see basically every point spread outside of Bama be somewhere around 3 points either way. Favored or an underdog by 3 points. So enjoy the ride of this season and understand there's going to be really exciting wins. They may beat Tennessee. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me at one iota if LSU beats Tennessee. It also wouldn't surprise me if they lose next week at Auburn. That may surprise me a little, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if they lose at Florida. It wouldn't surprise me if they beat either A&M or Arkansas. Wouldn't surprise me if they lose either of those games. So you're probably going to split the difference. I mean, that was my point all along. I said, look, I thought they would start 4-0. They obviously lost to Florida State. I thought they'd split October, go 2-2. Home games against Tennessee and Ole Miss, road games against Florida, Auburn. Split those, go 2-2. You lose to Bama, you beat UAB, you split Arkansas and A&M, you go 8-4. That was my season. That was my pick. and they lost to Florida State, so I adjusted it to 7-5. If they're able to win another one that I didn't think they would and get to 8-4, that'd be an awesome season, man. It'd be an awesome year, considering the context, right? Jason H. Tennessee scares me after watching the game. Quarterback look good. Hendon Hooker's great. I mean, he is the best passer in the league. They're a dynamic offense. Yeah, I mean that's you're going to be an underdog. You will be a home underdog in that game. Dalton Barnett, this was possibly the worst broadcast of all time. You know what? So I watched the first half at home, and then we went to and then I always leave at halftime, and I go to Don Juan for the second half because we start Whiskey and Wine as soon as the game ends, so I don't want to miss any of the game. So because it was a stream, they only had it on one TV, and they couldn't pipe in the audio, so I didn't get to hear the second half of the broadcast, and it sounds like it's a good thing I didn't. The first half was rough. But yeah. Tennessee has Bama right after us. Maybe they'll be looking ahead. I doubt that. You don't overlook a trip to Baton Rouge, especially when it's their first time since 2010, 12 years. Joey Metke, good morning. Ashley, Megan, Goodwin, and Kane both had big nights as well. Great to see the run game popping off. D, good morning. Caleb, let's see, Daniels passing over the middle, drastically improved this week. That's expected with such a good coaching staff. That's Caleb, like that's one thing. It's not just passing over the middle. It's just the willingness to throw the ball when you have open receivers. You know, when you have the choice to either tuck and run or throw. Oh my God, were they calling him Newsmeyer? I was wondering. I've seen a lot of y'all post that. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? The guy was the announcer was calling him Newsmeyer. Oh my God, are you kidding me? How do you screw that up? Oh man, that's a great lesson if you're an aspiring broadcaster. Do your homework. So that's what people have been saying. Noah Kane was a freshman. I think I even went off on someone last night on Whiskey and Wine when they were saying Noah Kane, true freshman. I'm like, Kane's a transfer. What do you, like? I think T-Bob and I both did. We're like, Kane's a transfer. What are you talking about? So apparently the guy was calling Kane a freshman. Oh my God, that's brutal. Like, just look at the roster. It says transfer Penn State on it. Oh my God. Wow, that's brutal. Brutal. Oh man. Oh, that's what we're calling him, Noose, the entire. Oh my God. I was wondering why y'all kept putting Noose. I was like, what are y'all talking about? Oh man. Oh my God. Oh my God. I kept mispronouncing Nussmeier's name. Oh my God. His dad played in the NFL. He's a prominent coach. Oh my God. Newsmeyer. I can't believe it. I can believe it, sadly, but I can't believe it. Big boy, 46 Hard Knocks. This team surprised me every week. They get better every week. They're all buying into Brian Kelly's scheme. Oh, you mean people are allowed to get better every week? I kind of want to scroll back to like the day after the Florida State game. I kind of want to collect some receipts on that. I don't want to a little bit. And on Jaden being the leading rusher after Florida State and Mississippi State. But I won't. We'll wait. Let's see. Michael Costello. Brandon, what's going on? Are you going to subscribe to T-Bob's feed picks? Jesus. No. Cody Brune. Where'd you find Otter Show? So it's on 104.5 ESPN. And if you're not in Baton Rouge, you can go to the 104.5 ESPN app. I don't think Auburn and Georgia will bring the ratings this time around. Cortland, you got to keep in mind, man. You got to keep in mind. This is what some of y'all miss, because someone asked me this earlier this week about like why Ole Miss and Kentucky was at 11 o'clock or whatever, and LSU Auburn was at night. It's because of the brands. Like, you don't think of it in these terms. It's hard. So like, this isn't being like condescending. I'm just explaining. Like, you don't think of it in these terms because you live here, you're in it, you understand how much better a game likely Kentucky Ole Miss can be and what's on the line relative to LSU Auburn, but that doesn't matter. They are looking for brands. Like, it's why Yankees Red Sox are on Sunday Night Baseball tonight, even though the Red Sox stink. Now I know a lot is predetermined, but it's Yankees Red Sox. Like, that game with those two logos, those two brands will draw. LSU Auburn will draw more than Kentucky and Ole Miss. It just will. I mean, those may be great teams. It doesn't matter. It's Kentucky Ole Miss. Like, someone from another part of the country is just going to see that and scroll. LSU Auburn, they're going to think, oh man, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Cam Newton. Like, they're going to think brands associated with those schools. That's the difference. That's why LSU Auburn is going to be primetime on ESPN. Let's see, DA Matt. I hear Joe Fouché is cleared. He is. That's going to be huge. I mean, especially with Major Burns out. So next week, Fouché and Brooks become your safety tandem. I mean, guys that were teammates at Arkansas become your safety tandem at Auburn next week. And honestly, I love that. Two dudes with a ton of experience in the SEC, a ton of experience playing together. Yeah, man. I'm bummed for Major Burns, obviously, because he's a great player, but that's a heck of a backup option. Let's see. Carrie, watch Whiskey and Wine, love T-Bob, but his color commentary, that dude is tripping, less whiskey. He's not drinking whiskey, he drinks mezcal and smokes cigarillos the whole game, too. Speaking in English, I'm not pushing Nate here. Carly Cat, good morning. Larry Francis, I live in Houston, so I've seen how far Tennessee, or I guess it's Texas, have come. If they don't lose their starting quarterback, they beat Bama. Maybe, Larry. Maybe. And you don't have to live in Houston to watch football in Texas. I mean, but I get your point. Cortland, stupid mistake by Jefferson, changed the whole game. Arkansas never recovered. But wouldn't that be the sign of a good team? Like, they were still winning at that point. They were winning 14-13 at half. If you're a good team, overcome that. Yeah, I've never seen a field goal miss off the top of the upright. How about that? That was bonkers. If you didn't see it, Arkansas had a game-winning field goal with under a minute to play and hit the top of the upright and bounced back in. Like, literally hit the top of the upright and bounced back. As always, I'll shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. Brock, after hours clinics open today. Maybe if you're jumping up celebrating a Saints touchdown, you sprain your ankle or twist your knee and you need to go see a doctor, get an injection, get x-rays. Brock, after hours clinic, just walk inside of the surgical specialty center on Bluebonnet near Perkins. And of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Hudco's pinned in the chat. So if you would just click that link, take 30 seconds. 30 seconds. There's 256 people watching right now on YouTube. There's 15 on Facebook. So 275-ish people watching right now. Someone has to be a Louisiana homeowner who hasn't had a roof inspection since Ida. If you are that person, click that link, fill out the form. We'd love to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection. Thank you. Nicholas Cantrell, how's Elias Ricks doing at Bama? I didn't see their game yesterday. Vanderbilt literally didn't watch a play of it, so I don't know if he played, how much he played. One of their starters got hurt, so that meant he was going to elevate. He missed all of camp most of camp with a back injury, so it was a slow to get started season for him. So I don't know. Oh my God, I ain't never seen he's pregnant again. Let's see. Hunter Picard, good morning. LSU Sports Fanatic, good morning. Cortland Jacob, celebrating being two ranked teams, and no one wants to admit those teams had no business being ranked. Who are you talking about? Tennessee? Tennessee's good, bro, if that's what you're talking about. Matt, why are you afraid of getting on a boat? Is it the water of the boat or both? Jerry, I'm not afraid of it. He's talking about the fishing trip. yeah, I'm not going. I've been on charter fishing trips. I hate like just running the boat for miles out and you're just and like throwing line. We never catch anything. I don't want to be on the water and bobbing, and I don't want to fish. It's just not for me. I don't like it, any of it. I have no desire to do it. So there's a million things I would rather do in my day than get on a boat and go fish. So that's why. It's not afraid of water or boat or anything. I like boats, but what I'm more like with boats is like, being on a lake, swimming, just riding the boat around, tubing, that sort of stuff. Eugene Sutherland, born Matt every NFL Sunday is Christmas. Amen to that.
What is your name?
What's your name? My name is Daddy. What's your name? His name is Steven.
Where's tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Monday. Okay, we'll see you later. Brambo getting hurt running versus New Mexico. SMH to Jane Daniel know how to throw the ball away. There was no need to run. You see on that play though, Brambo, you're wrong. Okay, because on that play, it was 4th and 3, bro. It was 4th and 3, and he had to get the first down. You couldn't throw the ball away because if you did, you turn it over on downs, cat. So he had to run and get the first down. So tip your cap to that dude. What I'll tell you is he got the 3 yards and then like spun off a guy, and then there was 2 guys on him and he kept fighting for more. After he got the 3 yards, he should have gone down. So that's the learning opportunity for Jaden Daniels. Hey, bro, you got the 3 yards, go down. That is the learning opportunity. Not don't run and throw it away. It was 4th down. He had to get the first down, which he did, but go down. Thank you. That was LSU Sports Fanatic answered it for you.
Where's your name?
Yeah.
Where's your name?
His name is Joey.
Where's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Monday. Let's see. Yeah, next year you add Lance Hurd as well to the offensive line. Michael Costello, think this team is going to have to play fast to make O-line deficiency, amass the O-line deficiency. One thing, I'm going to go back and watch it again today to confirm, but there was a few times that I charted it on drives where they would get the first down, their first down of the drive, and when they got the first down, then they went quick. They didn't start the drive tempo, but when they got their first down, then they went tempo. So, and it worked. I mean, it worked on their first drive of the game. They scored 7-0. They did it again on the drive that ended with that when they got down to the 1 yard line and then had all the holding penalty, the PI on Neighbors, the sack. So they ended up 3rd and goal from the 32. Seth O'Bannon with Florida State being 4-0. Is it me, or is that loss starting to not look so bad anymore? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad loss. But I think if you play that game again today, LSU probably wins it. But yeah, that's what it is. Michael B, good morning. Let's see. Eduardo, Dustin Blanchard. Let's see. Yeah, sorry. The audio should be back, y'all. It went out because my phone rang. Phone rang, which is why audio went out. Michael B, fully expecting it to be a 7-5 type year, wanting to see our young guys grow. I hope most fans have that mentality because losses are going to come. And I hope there isn't a full-on melt when they lose.
Where's your name?
My name is Daddy.
Where's your name?
His name is Aaron.
Where's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Monday. What's your name? Hey, what's your name? Good job. All right, let's see. What about Jay Ward? My guess is Jay Ward will be back. Jay Ward was dressed. He just didn't play. Remember, on the interception last week, he kind of hyperextended his leg. There was no need to play him today or yesterday. So I think we even talked about that immediately after the Mississippi State game. It was like, yeah, look, the great news is you play New Mexico. Just there's no need to play him. Just give him a week to or give him 2 weeks basically to get right and just be ready to roll against Auburn, which I'm sure he will be. Michael B, I can't handle drunk T-Bob. Bless you for that, Matt.
Where's your name?
His name is Patrick.
Where's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Monday.
And then on Monday.
On Monday, you'll go to the new
St.
Lillian.
And then
And then 17 Mondays.
we'll go see Medbro.
See Membro. Hey, Dad, good morning. Joel Cunningham, maybe we should have hired Napier and Cristobal Crowd. Maybe we should have hired Napier and Cristobal Crowd will go away for a bit. Sure. Jason Goday, what did the Saints do today? Man, I picked them 20-17. I'll grant you that is a major homer pick. I think the Saints are a better team, but there is a gigantic unknown with Jameis's health. And if he plays today the way he did last week, which I fear might happen, I think the Saints are going to lose. But the Saints defense is plenty good enough to stymie a bad Carolina offense. You should have Paulson and Debo back today. My concern is just the Saints offense. And if Jameis is hurt and not making throws and turning the ball over and not running to protect his back at times, then that's a net negative for your team. So if a healthy Andy Dalton were starting today, I would pick the Saints, no problem whatsoever. And y'all know I'm a Jameis fan. Like, I think he has the potential to be great, but not with a bum ankle and 4 fractured vertebrae.
Where's your name?
His name is Lamar.
Where's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Monday.
Where's the person?
Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows.
But Tuesday,
After Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hey, come see Daddy. Come see Daddy.
On Friday.
Let's see how did Dad show. On Friday, go to the new St. Lily. Come see Daddy. Come here. Come here. We're almost done with that show. And then we're going to get dressed.
Okay. Where's Chanel? Where's Chanel?
Okay. I like your bear jammies.
Where's Chanel?
What's your name? What's your name?
Drew.
Drew what?
Drew Benjamin. What's going on?
Drew Benjamin Moscona. Good job. That is your name. I love you. What's Daddy's name? What's Daddy's name? Daddy's name? What's Daddy's name? You know it. What's Daddy's name? Hey, what's Daddy's name?
Matt Moscona.
Thank you, Matt Moscona. What's Mommy's name?
Erica Lee
Erica Lee
Moscona.
Moscona.
Erica Lee Moscona.
It's actually now Erica Keller Moscona. Erica Lee Keller Moscona. But yes. Yes. Mommy's middle name was born was Lee. Dawn Rushing, he's adorable. Love those PJs. Thank you, Dawn. Any more. I missed a few. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling back a little bit. Seth Rushing, what's good, man? Seth, your dad was here a little bit ago. Said what's up. His name is Josh. Paul Wilson, one announcer would say Nussmeyer, the other would say Newsmeyer. Oh my God. So it's like the guy saying Nussmeier was intentionally saying it probably with emphasis so the other guy would stop saying Nussmeier. Like at some point someone had to get in that guy's ear and be like, hey, bro, it's Nussmeier. Matt, did you guys go live after the game? Can't seem to find it on YouTube. Yes, we did. You should absolutely be able to find it on YouTube. On the 104.5 ESPN Banners Facebook page. Let me make sure it's there. Yeah, it's there. It's there. Yeah, good. Oh, you had me nervous. It's on the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page. Or YouTube page. Okay, we might be just about done, y'all. All right. Dawn Rushing said, I'm Seth's mom. Wait, hold on. So Seth's here, Scooter's here, and Dawn's here. We got the whole Rushing family watching on 3 different streams. Why aren't y'all together? That's hilarious. Oh, man. The entire Rushing family. Morning Scone P1 listeners. I love it. Jerry Fontenot, have to love the kids. Good daddy. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it, man. Let's see. Jason Goday. Any more? I think we're just about done. All right. Huey Lipsy. Hi, Drew. A lot of buzz for Coach House's services outside of LSU. He's here to become a head coach, y'all. It's why I told y'all this. It's why, I know this. It's why he came to LSU. Because he wants to be a college head coach, and his best path to doing that is from being a major college defensive coordinator instead of being an NFL position coach. So, all right. I think we're just about done. They called Savion Smith Savion. Okay, I think we're done. Y'all have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. As always, shout out to Brock. For all of you hanging, man, still over 200 y'all hanging out on YouTube. It's awesome. If you haven't done so yet, please take a quick second, smash that like button. If you're new, please subscribe up to the YouTube channel. We do Morning Scone here every single day. This was episode 1646. That's consecutive days. We're like 4.5 years now. We've been doing this every single day. So usually on weekdays, we're right at about 7:30 a.m. Central Time. So we'll look for y'all tomorrow. And every day after that, Who Dat might, depending on how it goes today, might fire up a Saints post game. If y'all want to chat about it, might just do that. As always, brought to you by Brock and Hood Code Roofing. Do business with someone you know. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing. Commercial and residential. I want to point out that a lot of y'all are business owners and or work at places that may need roof repairs, replacements. Would love to work with you on the commercial side as well. So give us a shout. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Y'all have a great day. See y'all. Peace.